you. This is Disney. We can't say things like that.
But we can think it.
What am I I'm doing the brought to you mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, soft, low, friendly.
Soft, low, friendly.
Faster, more intense.
This is morning radio.
Not if you're behind me.
Mr. Rogers.
Faster, more intense. That's a specific film director's only direction. Lucas. Faster, more
Everything
intense.
faster, more intense. Okay, that's good. Just do it again better.
What's my motivation? Faster, more intense.
Your motivation is you're getting paid for this. So
Yeah. Motivation is the check.
do it right.
I must have music.
Synchronized silence. I like that.
Yikes. WTTM 200. Well, hello, and welcome to A Window to the Magic. My name is Paul, and as always, I will be your guide through the wonderful world of the Disney theme parks and resorts. This show is a semi-weekly show that takes you into the Disney parks and resorts, and this is the place where you can surround yourself with the magic. We are here live, Patrick and I and a friend or two. Hello all. Yes, that's the friends. And then a bunch of listeners. Okay, we'll try it again. We're here with a friend or two. And then listeners. Wrong. Okay. We're here with a bunch of friends. And a bunch of listeners. Anyway, so, and we are here at the Disneyland Resort. Patrick is here with me, obviously.
Hello, everybody. All the way from Oklahoma.
Yes, exactly. Right. And before we begin, or as we begin, we need to talk about our sponsors.
This episode of Paul Berry's A Window to the Magic is brought to you by...
Thank you. First off, we are sponsored for the Friends of the Magic Weekend by the Blue Parrot at theblueparrot.info. Roger Colton and his crew tell you all about the world of Disney and a whole bunch of other things, so you should go check it out, theblueparrot.info. Also, we are sponsored by Krypton Hosting at krypton-host.com. If you need hosting, go talk to Jose Castillo and he will help you out. The third one here was written for me. It says, read naturally, and as if this is you speaking, do not read this part.
Probably should have put that at the beginning.
Okay, so anyway, I would like to think, you would like to think? Okay.
Louder and funnier.
Yes, I would like to thank Friends of the Magic and longtime WTTM listener Michael Philly Mike from WTTM Live from Avenue Z Graphics for providing our Friends of the Magic lanyards this weekend. If you are ever in need of any custom designed apparel or promotional items for your business or event, Michael and his team would be happy to help you out. God, Michael, and would be happy to help you out with free design work, highly competitive prices, bonus items for every apparel order. Check them out on the web at avenuezgraphics.com or contact Michael directly via email at michael@avenuezgraphics.com. Please all send him an email and tell him this is way too long. And of course, mention you heard about them from Window to the Magic and receive a special Disney community discount. So free stuff for smaller prices. That's always good. So I think that's good sponsor-wise. I think we're good. No. We have one other sponsor.
One more.
Who would that be?
I don't have the script.
You don't have the script. Okay, well maybe Jana does.
She went home.
She went home.
Jana Smith from something or other. And
Didn't it used to be
The Main Street Travel
That's it.
Company. Yeah, that's what it is.
I've heard of them.
Actually, she was here just about 4 minutes ago and decided she was going to leave because she used to do a podcast but really doesn't do it anymore. So when we said we were starting a podcast, she left. So there we are.
She's a recovering podcaster.
Yes.
Let's talk about Dot's podcast.
So as Patrick and I were talking, we said, Window to the Magic is a show that takes you around the Disney parks. You get to hear the sounds of the park and everything like that. So we're going to take all 100 of you and walk around the... No, we're not.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I tried that yesterday with like 30 people.
Yeah.
We were blocking walkways.
I gotcha, okay. So we decided, well, it's natural for us then just to sit here and talk. No, it's not. We don't do that. So what we want to do is we want to start off by asking you guys, you have about 30 seconds, to tell us, we've had 199.75 shows of A Window to the Magic so far. What have been your favorite moments from throughout those shows? Now, can anybody come up with anything? Has anybody actually listened to Window to the Magic before? No.
We're just here for the party.
Okay. Just, yeah, we're just here for
Free lady swag.
Podcast ever.
Right.
What's a podcast?
Well, that would be Gary Chambers asking what a podcast is, and that makes sense.
It's like the radio.
If you could hear the look he gave me.
First drink's on you tonight.
All right. Yeah, you mean you're going to spill on me?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. So, yes, exactly. Well, we're going to drink Coke. What are you talking about? So does anybody have a favorite moment from Window to the Magic? Anybody? Anybody got a moment here? Yes, yes.
I particularly like the doorway to the enchantment.
Okay, stop.
Doorway to the enchantment rules.
Thanks. 200 shows. He has to pick that.
Tell you what, I'll throw one out there, and this is in all sincerity. The opening theme music, which is from a bygone attraction, no matter what episode you listen to, as soon as that music pipes up, you know exactly you're in for something special.
Is that the Mickey Mouse Club team?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, okay.
No, you
Yeah.
fill in the blank there, Paul. What music is that
Who
from?
actually knows what the music is that we play at the beginning of Window to
Oh,
the
you
Magic?
bet. Here, who knows?
Somebody hands?
Applaud or something. Don't raise your hands.
David Bales.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. That's why nobody raised their hand. What is it?
Rainbow Caverns.
Rainbow Caverns. Does anybody know what Rainbow Caverns was from?
Ryan knows.
Wrong.
Mine train through nature's wonderland.
Mine train through nature's
wonderland.
Everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, it's my favorite piece of audio from the Disney universe. And I had an old hissy recording of it years and years and years and years ago, and then I finally got a copy from and it was a nice clean copy, and then they released it on the 50th anniversary set as well. So that's what that is. Do we have anybody else that's got a favorite moment? Anybody? Anybody?
Just anybody.
You're giving John.
John has something to say.
How about John Carigliano?
Okay, and you, sir. When I play music from my collection.
Who can say that?
I love Rammstein.
Wrong.
Disney's non sequitorium.
There you go. Disney's non sequitorium. What has been your favorite piece so far?
I just like anything that wants to, a wide variety of songs. Music maybe that are older, but my new ones, the last one was the Tux was pretty good.
Oh, okay. When I went to go get my tux. All right, good. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? Ryan.
Patrick's original Haunted Mansion episode.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, that's an oldie.
Talk about
That's
that.
an oldie but a goodie. That's right.
That was the very, very first full show that I did was the history of the Haunted Mansion, and I kind of talked a little bit about all of the Haunted Mansion stuff. Mansion, Walt Disney World Mansion, the movie, a little bit of everything. I was Haunted Mansion Holiday. I've been friends with Peter Renaday, the voice from the '69 LP, and Corey Burton, who's the ghost host in the Haunted Mansion. And I figured, what better way to do my first show than to talk to them and interview them about being the ghost hosts and just provide a 45-minute history of the Haunted Mansion, and that's kind of how my shows came about, that show was so popular, I realized that was what I needed to stick with, and from that point forward, I just started doing attraction retrospectives and histories, and did them about once a month for the first 3 years of Window to the Magic.
Pretty much, yeah. That's good. All right.
And always on time.
Always on time, yes. I just scheduled them early so they would show up on time. All right, anybody else got a moment here? Anybody? Winton.
Episode 33.
Episode 33.
Jack Wagner was interviewing Martha First.
It's from the Jack Wagner blooper reel. He was doing the fake commercial for the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, the Main Street Electrical Parade episodes. Yes.
Yeah, how many of them were there?
Well, there were 700 tracks, I think, that we played of Main Street Electrical Parade.
Well, that one, I did the Electric Parade retrospective, and immediately got emails from people because I didn't play the music from the Main Street Electric Parade. I was playing everything but. And so I realized that, after much pushing from Paul, I think the next month I did another episode and played the Electric Parade track and kind of made up for it, and added a little extra in there about the Electric Parade that I couldn't fit in the first show, and then started getting emails, and you forgot to talk about this, and more questions, and then more audio tracks started popping up, and then began the Electric Parade clip of the month.
Yep, pretty much.
I think I've still got Electric Parade stuff that.
Well, we're just making stuff up now. All right, well, right here we're going to take a quick commercial break. This commercial break brought to you by Comedy Forecast.
Wow, that's a first.
Comedy Forecast is?
Comedy Forecast is located at comedyforecast.com. And boy, we're going through this really quickly. It's a short form comedy podcast, sometimes with a Disney subject in it, and you can listen to it anywhere you want to, on your iPod or on your computer, as you can with any podcast. You'll hear famous people like, "Hi, Danny Hillcrest here," or "Hi, this is Lenny Treetop, and basically I want to talk to you about the fact that WTTM rocks." Oh, you got Rory here. Hi, how you doing, Paul? Hey, it's great to see you here. Great to see you. So listen if you want to have a good time hearing about all sorts of crazy characters and sometimes very special guest stars. Thank you. That's comedyforecast.com.
Comedy Forecast, available at comedyforecast.com.
Ask for it by name.
And what is the name?
Comedy Forecast.
Except no substitutes.
Unless you can come across something that substitutes well, and then you're good. Okay, and we're back.
Where the heck did we go?
Disneyland.
Oh.
So next, do we have anyone that has a great moment from Calvin?
I like it when John gets to say something.
That's a very good moment. I like that.
This
I
brownie
remember
moment of
from-
Calvin is sponsored by Calvin.
Yes, Joe.
I tried.
Justin, Greg, Linda, and Luby did a video response to wearing the carpet.
Oh, that was great.
The very first video that they ever submitted. Interesting story. I don't know if I ever told this or not on the show. If I did, that's what Fast Forward is for. I did a Where in the Park game, and I thought...
You did?
Really?
Yes, very big.
And the Mark Twain is helping. Thank you. I thought to myself, well, I'm going to do a really killer Where in the Park game. And I'm just going to go. I'm going to go through California Adventure. I'm going to get on the monorail. I'm going to come into Disneyland. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to go everywhere. And I'm going to end up, of all places, at Injun Joe's Cave. And I spent, 90 minutes?
It was a long one.
It was about 90 minutes.
90 minutes or so walking around this place, not going anywhere in particular, but going everywhere. And I put this out, and a little while later I got a phone call. And it said, "Hey, this is a listener, it's Greg and Justin, and then, it's Mouseketeer Greg and the Mice, and we're out here, we love your show, and we were following what you were doing. We brought our iPods in, and we're going through, and we're listening, and we're tracing your steps. and they went through the whole thing. Now, didn't you guys get interrupted in the middle on the monorail? It was broken
We did,
down?
yeah. We were trying to get on the monorail to finish. That was about halfway through, I think.
Right.
And the monorail went 101, so we had to finish it the second day. We had to come back.
So they actually came back a second day to continue filming.
Do we know if Tony was in the park when you were on the monorail?
It's entirely possible. I didn't even know who he was at the time, so.
Yeah?
You know me.
So I got this really cool voicemail, and I thought, you know, that is just awesome. These guys are great. Well, about 2-3 weeks later, somewhere in that area, I got a video that was submitted. He had gone through and actually redone the whole thing and filmed it, edited narration in, titles, and all kinds of stuff, and literally did a video representation of my 90-minute walkthrough.
Well, one of the stipulations for the contest was that you had to identify certain landmarks. I think there was a certain number.
20 or so landmarks?
And I think we got about 28.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I got a video shot of every landmark.
I did give you, I docked you though for identifying the trash cans as I walked by them. See that? Thank you for the courtesy laugh. I appreciate it.
There was clanking.
Hey, well, you did the same for me, so you know.
That's true.
It's only fair.
So anyway, so that would have been that. So we'll play maybe a minute of video of that right here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So
And we're back.
Yes. And continuing on, do we have any other moments? she knows I'm not picking John and Marvin. I just look in her direction. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
I like it when you do this, what's it called? Walk in the parks.
Where in the parks?
It's easy. Mostly I like the WTTM 24.
WTTM 24, the 15-minute, 24-hour show. Did anybody else like 24?
Oh yeah.
One person.
Thank you, Scott. We'll pay you later.
Exactly. Did anybody else like 24?
Yeah! Woo!
There you go. That was one of the hardest things that we have ever done. We had to come into the park, starting recording prior to coming into the park, if that made any sense at all, and be G-rated, family-friendly, and interesting.
That was hard to do.
Yeah.
The entire day. When we were done, there was swearing. I could hear Mousketeer Greg from across the park. We were in the parking structure. I let him turn his recorder off after we called. I could hear him swearing from there.
Yeah, from Harbor.
From Harbor, yeah. Right.
I thought the hardest part was making it rain. That was really
No, that was actually really easy. That was one of Clinton's many trips out here. He comes out here all the time. Of course, Clinton from ComedyForecast.com. Available at ComedyForecast.com.
Comedy Forecast sponsored the rain?
They did sponsor the rain, but I've forgiven him for that. Let's see. Okay, one more. Do we have one more? One more? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to take two more. Let's go with John Carigliano.
Put your hand up earlier.
My favorite episode would have to be when you were in the Adventurers Club and you got pulled up on stage by Beulah and you got the whole spiel right then and there. And I had forgotten my video camera, so I couldn't record it.
Okay, does everybody know what he's talking about there?
No.
Well, while I was at Mouse Fest a couple of years ago, I got pulled up on stage at the Adventurers Club, dressed up like a French maid, and she sang the song Popular from the musical Wizard to me, because I apparently look just like her sister.
Wicked.
Wicked, actually, I'm sorry. Edit. And anyway, so from wow. So someone going by on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad behind us just yelled out "Window to the Magic." That's scary.
They spotted us. Run!
It's the ghost of Rainbow Caverns.
The ghost of Rainbow Caverns, yeah. Actually, that's Disneyland security, and they're on their way.
Paul's here.
Yeah. Okay, and do we have any more? Yes?
My very first episode of Window to the Magic was halfway through 24, so I kind of didn't know what was going on. But I hung on there for a while, and then I downloaded all the old episodes. And 1 and 2, by far my favorites.
1 and 2.
I'm in love with the beginning of the project.
So you love listening to me driving around in a car?
Well, very beginning of Window to the Magic episodes.
Oh, episodes 1 and 2. Wow.
Well, I think with 24, I think I liked the parts where you'd split between you and Greg, and it was you in one headphone and Greg in the other.
Yeah.
And you were in totally different areas of the park. That was really interesting to follow. And when you explained to me what you were going to do, I was like, that's not going to make any sense. It's going to be a horrible jumble of noise. And when you sent me a sample clip, well, listen to this, and you could follow it.
And you were like, you're right, that is a horrible jumble of noise.
It wasn't, though. You could follow it. It was great.
Hey,
all
you
right.
had to take one headphone out at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, you could listen to WTTM 24 3 times. Once with both, once right, and once left, and it was 3 different experiences.
That's how I ended up figuring it out.
Yeah. So you actually listened to episode 1 of Window to the Magic?
I listened to every single episode put out.
And you are still here.
I know, amazing.
Oh, I see. All right. Anybody else? Yes.
Halloween episode of Secrets of the Wooden Door.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Just the episode in general, or?
Yeah, just like it was like a good adventure. It was like really original, and like it was a really good Halloween episode.
All right. Secrets of the Wooden Door itself, written by Patrick Hurd and Mr. Brian Summer.
No. Written by Brian Summer.
Oh, okay.
I kind of did my thing and added a little bit of writing to it, but it was written by this man right here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
He is to blame for
several bottles
Secrets of the Wooden Door. And that episode was a blast to put together all the way across. I mean, getting his script and then adding a little bit of my own writing to it, and then getting together with Greg and Calvin and you and Brian and I sitting down and rehearsing over Skype, and then getting everybody's performances in, and kind of piecing together, and then finding the right music and sound effects. And we got Corey Burton and Pete Renaday in there.
The disco soundtrack that you tried at first didn't just work.
But after that,
to Patrick's credit, you may not know, but that whole thing was, in the business they call it recording wild. In other words, nobody recorded together. So we weren't working off of each other. Everybody recorded at their own time. They just recorded all of their lines and then dumped it all on Patrick. And Patrick had to take that and put it all together and make it sound like we were all together. And it came out beautiful. And the fact of the matter is everybody was 1,000 miles away from each other.
Or more.
Yeah.
It's a restraining orders, isn't it?
Exactly.
So it's like creating a performance after the fact.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of the timing of the jokes, because one person would deliver the front end of the joke, and then the punchline would come from somebody else. There was a lot of timing that played into that too. So a lot of the 3 counts before the punchline would hit, or just a little, I'll hold you just off, to the side a little bit. Just little things like that that really had to be, done in post. That because it was, like he said, I got everybody's pieces in chunks and just kind of patched it together.
Yeah, it was kind of weird looking at the script and not having anything to go off of, and having to say, that's not a sheep, that's my mother-in-law. And we're like, I don't get it.
He had me on the phone with he and Calvin while they were recording their lines, and he'd deliver, well, tell me if I'm doing it wrong. He'd deliver the line, no, do it like this. And he'd deliver it the way that I needed him to deliver it. Same thing with Calvin. It was like, read it this way, and I got the performances out of everybody. And
read it again in English.
Yeah, came out very, very well. That's probably my personal favorite episode that I worked on in general with Secrets of the Wooden Door, just because it was so much fun to put together.
So, Mr. Summer.
Yes. Yes.
What has been your favorite moment of A Window to the Magic?
Somebody said a funny
That was a
thing.
big
They said
laugh.
paycheck.
There's money?
No.
It's holding out on you, dude.
You don't have the right representation.
I guess.
Well, certainly, Secrets of the Wooden Door was definitely there, because I'm just a huge fan of radio dramas and a big Halloween fan. For those of you that have seen the video of my place at Halloween, that comes as no surprise to anybody. But I think just in general, I certainly was not a technological person, to be sure, so I wasn't really familiar with podcasts per se. For those of you who know, I kind of started out with Extinct Attractions, and then they knew Paul, and I got a hold of Paul. And being able to help these guys who don't do this for money, who don't do this for fame or anything else, they do it because they have such a passion for the subject matter. And to be able to help them out, in a little way, doing characters or doing announcing or things like that, it does my heart good to hear this stuff coming out, because it's almost a rebirth of radio. And it's a wonderful thing to know that people are sitting down and listening to this stuff without a bunch of splashy special effects going on or anything like that. So I think that, just in general, the whole thing, being associated with it and helping out people who are doing a project because they're passionate about it, not for any other reason. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
We now take another moment to break away for another of our sponsors and friends of the show, the Disney Indiana Podcast.
Hi, this is Tracy from the Disney Indiana Podcast.
And this is Scott. We have a bi-weekly podcast that we talk about all things that we like about Disney. But on this special occasion for Window to the Magic's 200th episode, we would like to say congratulations to Paul and to Patrick and to everyone else that's involved. And we would also like to thank them for getting us started in this wonderful world of podcasting. For without Paul, Disney Indiana would not be. So if you'd like to check us out, we can be found at DisneyIndiana.com. Please stop by and enjoy Disney Indiana.
And we're back. All right, so I'm going to ask Patrick, of all of the things that you have heard me do, and all of the things that you have done yourself, what are your two favorite moments?
Well, it's kind of hard to narrow down with your stuff. I like all, anytime you do Where in the Park. I love putting on the headphones and just following along, when you do the Where in the Park stuff. And, because those episodes, you didn't talk, it was just listening to Disneyland, I could, put the headphones on and do my work at the computer or, whatever, and just kind of have Disneyland there with me, since I live 1,200 miles away from the park. It was really, those episodes, I still, will play all the time.
Right.
It takes me to the park.
So your favorite me episodes are the ones that I'm not in because I'm not talking. All right, sounds good.
I hear you breathing every once in a while.
That's right, yes. Welcome to Tomorrowland. All right.
As far as my own stuff, like I said, Secrets of the Wooden Door. But as of late, I'm very, very proud of the story of the Haunted Mansion, which first aired on last year as audio in last year's Halloween episode, or a year ago. 2 years ago, Halloween episode.
A year ago, last Thursday.
Yeah, something like that. That was something that I'd been working on for a long time. It was a script that I'd written years ago, and I'd always wanted to see it visualized the way I was able to get it visualized through illustration. I'd always wanted to make that happen, and I realized that after I'd done the audio for the show, that I could then take that into my video cast and have it realized through illustration. I was very, very proud that so many people came out of the woodwork and offered their voices and their artistic talents and sending artwork in. And we've got a few folks that are here now that provided voices and artwork for the story. And
David Bales. He's not around right now, but David Bales, didn't he get the disco introduction in the redo?
Yes, David Bales and Brian Combe. You around somewhere?
No, they've all left.
Oh, Kim? Is Kim around? She left too?
No, they're gone too. Yep.
Anybody else send me artwork that's sitting here? No, they all left. They ran! They all ran. But I was very, very proud of that particular episode, audio and then into video. I was very proud of the way that came out.
Cool.
So
very good. Very good. Calvin, sir.
Moving on.
What? And we're done. No. Do you like Window to the Magic?
I've heard bits and pieces. I think it's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of those bits and pieces you've heard, have you liked anything?
Not really. If I had to pick one thing, it would have to be 24. Not for listening to it, which that was fun, but more specifically recording it, being with everybody and going through and being G-rated. You know, the whole experience of just hanging out with everybody.
Right.
And that had to be my favorite moment of Window to the Magic for me.
Cool. All right. Did I ask you, Clint?
All right, next.
Okay, good.
Can we ask you?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Hey, Clinton, what was your favorite moment?
Why, besides the recreated People Mover segment that I did, which really, to me, that was one of my very fun thing for me to do because it was a completely non-comedic thing that I did for you, specifically to have something that would be that recreation of something that could be in this park, of having the ride on the People Mover, and what it would sound like if everything that was in Tomorrowland today was there, it's just that the People Mover was going through it. And that was really fun to do, and Brian helped out with some of the audio on that as well. But
was his the non-comedic part?
He was actually the super speed tunnel. But I'm going to sound really hokey here to say what my favorite moment is. My favorite moment is seeing that there's another episode of the show ready to be downloaded. That is my favorite part of Window to the Magic, knowing that I'm going to be able to put those headphones on and listen to your show for an hour.
So this would be a great time to tell you that this is the final episode of the Window. I'm kidding.
No. There goes my paycheck.
What?
Stop.
I don't know. Okay. It was just super overproduced. I liked it. Okay, so I am not sure that we have anything else that we can do at this point.
Hey, wait. I got one more thing. What was your favorite episode?
Almost got out.
Thank you. Almost got Okay.
I've been picking on John Carigliano the entire weekend. His mom just paid me back. Took her up to Club 33 and everything, and she still pays me back. My favorite portion of A Window to the Magic is right here, right now. Every time I walk into the park and I meet someone, I see someone that I've seen before, I meet someone new, somebody says, "Your Window to the Magic?" and we go and have an adventure. I tell people, come up to me and say, "Hi." You know, if I'm recording, don't worry about it, you're part of the show. Because it is all about the experience of being at the Disney theme parks and resorts. So being there is being with friends and having a good time and enjoying what Walt created and listening to it. And the fact that I can walk through the park, capture that, and send that to you guys, it's not actually a part of the show, it is the show. So Window to the Magic is my favorite portion of A Window to the Magic. Is anybody buying that? Good. Now we're going to wait for the podcast to break down here because I'm going to ask Tony from Above the Firehouse podcast.
Shut up! Sit down!
Exactly.
I had to tell you one of the favorite ones was your 40th birthday surprise party.
Nobody's heard that.
You put it out. You just put a PG on it.
Oh no, nobody's heard that.
I have
Oh, trust me, nobody's heard it.
Who heard it? Who heard it? Who up there? We did.
Nobody? Really? That few of you have heard it? Fabulous. Yeah. When I turned 40, Terry threw me a birthday party. And part of the deal was that she had a recording that she was going to play for me. And it turned out to be an episode of A Window to the Magic. What episode number was it?
You know what? I don't even remember. It would have. What, do you remember the number?
It was like 990.
Yeah, it was way up there.
Oh,
it was like
900,000.
like 60 or 70 in the episode.
Well, see, here's the deal. It was actually to celebrate my 90th birthday.
That was it.
So it was 50 years into Window to the Magic. So they added 50 years worth of numbers. And I was this crotchety old man, played by Brian Summer.
As always, I'll be your host, blah, blah, blah.
I got stuck in a restroom. I was picking on a nurse in first aid. I was hitting
the best line.
I was hitting on this nurse. And just incredible little pieces of things that were just not fit for the regular feed.
You did it where in the park, but since it was so many years later, you couldn't go on any rides anymore, so they were wearing the parks into the restroom.
Yes.
He even had his favorite one, too. I do remember that.
The one with the AC.
The one with the AC.
The one with the air conditioning, yeah, well, you know, that's how it goes.
It always got a chance to pick on him.
Yes, and in that were also some of my friends who were my podcasting buddies at the same time who wished me happy birthday and things like that. And this episode was just played for me and the people at the party, and I cried like a baby. I think it was because I, you know, was turning 40, but it was very special. So we'll probably play a little bit of that here. Yeah. So, anyway, the non PG-13 parts.
Yeah.
What?
I had forgotten about that. That was hilarious.
He blocks everything out that he does for
That's
me.
what my therapist told me to do.
Exactly.
And what voice and when?
So the shock therapy is working.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly. So does anybody else have anything to say at 200 episodes of Window to the Magic? Anybody else have any thoughts, requests? Anybody need to bill us for anything we haven't done yet? No? All right.
Wishing you another 200 more.
Bravo!
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Another 200 episodes.
Someone with the Magic football team.
Exactly, yes. Oh, I can start my own football team. All right, so there we are. Then I would like to thank you all for joining us as we conclude our 4th year and begin our 5th year of A Window to the Magic.
Amazingly enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, did you think when you started this and I joined in after a few months, and you know that it was going to be?
You joined in later than I thought the podcast was going to last. I thought 10 episodes. I'll get them out. It'll be great. Yeah. So 200. Here we are.
Here's a quick question before we get started. Have you gotten out what you wanted to out of Window to the Magic? Have you taken it to where you want it?
No. It's still running.
As long as there's imagination left.
That's right, yes. I will never be done with Window to the Magic while there's imagination left in the world. Okay, is any members of the DVD of the Month Club here? Very good. I'd like to thank you all. Yes. I would like to thank everyone who supports the show, be it through the DVD of the Month Club, coming out here and saying hi to us, or anything else, because we really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Normally I give the Friends of the Magic listing, telling them when Friends of the Magic is. It's now. It's done. It's passed. It was last week.
You missed it if you're not here.
Exactly. And I would say tune in next week for Patrick's show. But no.
It'll be his greatest show ever.
There you go.
Greatest show never heard.
Have I forgotten anything? Then please join us next week for another episode of A Window to the Magic. But for now, this has been A Window to the Magic, episode number 200.
Woo!
Good night, Paul. And I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it wasn't recording. Hold on.
We're gonna do it again.
make it sound spontaneous.
Turn back to page 1.
Okay, Matt, you're gonna be down. You gotta take pictures of us.
Okay, now with feeling.
Yeah. That's a good table read.
WTT. Oh, sorry.
This time, let's let John speak.
I can do that.
I
That was
have
great.
mine onto my Mac. So.